Hi, today we are going to discuss another elegant grammatical term for an elegantly described grammatical structure, and that I would say is in the linguistic sense, and we'll see what that is. So 1164 or 79 in Siddhanta Kaumudi, Achontyadi ti. Achontyadi ti. Achaha antya adi ti. Achaha antya adi ti. So, achaha is shashti of ach. And as we know, ach is a, I, un, ruluk, eong, ayouch, otherwise known as the vowels. So, achaha is shashti of ach. Antya, final, adi, antya, final, adi, first, is a bahuvrihi compound, which means one who has as its first the last one. The one that has as its beginning, you could say otherwise, is that has as its beginning the final one. So this will be clear when we talk about the context. So P, that is called P. So the one which has as its beginning the final ach of a word, that is called T. Achaha, antyadi achaha, T. So the vowel, the one whose beginning is the final one of the vowels. So in the word Rama, this is essentially defining a syllable, final syllable. So in Rama, the final vowel is a. So the D of Rama is a, the final a, not the long a. Rama, final T, the one that has its beginning, the final one. So the beginning of a is also a. Then in Jagat, at is the T, because at has as its beginning the which is the final vowel among the final among the vowels in the word of Jagat. Now, just so that's pretty straightforward concept, but astonishing, really, these the clarification of these grammatical structures, linguistic structures, and ones that have a particular application that makes it useful to have shorthand for them. So wherever we see T, we know we're talking about whatever begins with the final vowel of a word. Now, it might occur to you to wonder, achaha, what is that? Because we've been focused on shashti in the grammar as meaning shashti sthana yoga, shashti sthana yoga. But in this sutra, this has nothing to do with sthane. It's not in any way sthane. Well, that is because the shashti here is being used in one of the non-grammatical, meaning not particular to the grammar, to Ashtadhyayi senses that are accounted for. And this is called the nirdharana, meaning singling out one from among many, singling out one from among many. So in this case, we're talking about singling out one vowel, one ach, from among what may be many vowels in a word, and it's singling out the vowel, the final vowel in that word. So there you go. It's not super complicated. It turns out to be useful. It's also one of those times when I find interesting the little windows into different people's perspectives. So one enormously productive and important contemporary grammarian describes the use of this sutra as occurring mostly for deletion in different nominal or verbal formations. And that's certainly true, but it's not what comes to my mind, not what springs to my mind. What springs to my mind is one of my favorite, of course, favorite among favorites, is Vakyasya Tehe Pluta Udataha. Vakyasya Tehe Pluta Udataha, which begins a wonderful string of sutras that pertain to this. And that is in speech, and there other sutras describe what kinds of speech and when. And if you include the Vedic sutras, there are about 20 of them more. In Vakyasya Tehe, in a speech sentence, spoken sentence, Tehe is the Shashti of T. In place of the T comes a Pluta vowel, and it will be Pluta Udataha, Pluta Udataha. So, Haihe Prayoge Haihayoho. So when you're calling He or Hai from a distance, in place of the T, and so in case of He, that would be the A, that A is replaced by Pluta Udata, meaning an extenuated vowel, Hey, and it shall be Udata. So it will be Hey, Hey, which is exactly what we do, what we call from a distance. And I know that Professor Cardona has alluded to this series in one of his books as one of the indicators of how much this is relates to a very living language. And that's why I'm so fond of T and Vakyasya Tehe Pluta Udataha, which is 8-82. The second is in the second book of the eighth, or second chapter of the eighth book, the 82nd Sutra. Vakyasya Tehe Pluta Udataha. So that's one of the places where T, as described by Achontyadi T, finds a delightful use. Thanks. That's all for today.